Hello Gunters, welcome to another Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak video for the Ttile Update 2. Before getting into matters, a very brief recap of my previous video. The new Espinas Ardientes skill Intrepid Heart is Ttile. It gives you one-hit super armor that also dramatically decreases the damage you take. As people who played Monster Hunter World, this is an awesome skill because allows you to be greedy and ignore one attack to keep full bursting, so is an awesome source of indirect damage. Or direct damage. If you get the skill to level 2, you will deal 300 damage to any close monster. And this is very great with both normal and long gunlances, since Wormstake Cannon fills a good chunk of the gauge by itself, so you can recover it fully with either 5 full burst rotations or 2 Wormstakes plus full bursts. But getting to level 2 has the problem of sacrificing at least 1 point of sneak attack. So, you have to decide between Sneak Attack 3 and I Heart 1 or Sneak Attack 2 and I Heart 2. I previously talked about the difference between Sneak Attack 3 and 2 being close to 8.8% damage difference. So, mathematically, by example, you do 5,500 damage to a monster in half a minute with Sneak Attack 2, then you would have been dealing around 6,000 damage with Sneak Attack, 500 points of damage. I tried to get very close numbers to these by doing the traditional 30 seconds DPS test with Sneak Attack 3 and Sneak Attack 2. The least time it takes to fill up Intrepid Heart is 12 seconds with long gun lengths, so in theoretical numbers you can actually out DPS Sneak Attack 3. Of course, in reality with a monster moving around, this is not as nice for either skills. Unless you are doing multiplayer, you aren't going to get a 100% sneak attack uptime. You can still get pretty good uptime using buddies and palicos with paralysis, meownator, traps and so on. My experience is that sneak attack uptime is really about a 50%, so you are getting under these numbers just about 250 extra damage that is equivalent to 1 explosion. And filling at least 1 explosion and triggering it in 30s is a very easy requirement to fill even if you don't use Wormstake. And then, there is a final comparison, that is the skills of Lambert versus Flaming Espinas legs. Slots wise, Espinas legs are way superior, being 4-1 versus just 3-0. This difference is huge because you can get easily 4-1 with a +2 curious roll. The same roll with Lucent would be just a 3-1-1. So it is easier to get a custom level 2 slot this way. Lucent legs have Handicraft +2, that is okay, and Adrenaline Rush, while Flaming Espinas has Burst aka Chain Crit +2 and Attack Boost 2. If you want a melee set, the Flaming Espinas skills are much better, since you normally only want Handicraft +2 because you will lock your sharpness with Protective Polish. So, after some deliberation, I think that Sneak 2 and Intrepid Heart 2 has a little edge over Sneak Attack 3, unless the edge cases where you can get full sneak attack damage. Even speedrunners that will use a critical set will like Intrepid Heart more because the better skill potential in the armor. I repeat this, don't underestimate the power to ignore monster attacks. Being able to land a full burst, you couldn't mean 700 damage with Sneak Attack 3 and a little less with 2, and that is a lot of indirect damage that is going to pile up regardless if you are casual or a speedrunner. With this in mind, I will start working in a set with Sneak Attack 2 and I Heart 2. That is going to be easy to do because you only have to decide the helm to use, and there are lots of staples to use. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. See you in the hunt.